This is the Big O Show. 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 This is...
Where can you take $10,000 off the 2026 Acura MDX? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
It's game day at Toyota of Hollywood. Our all-stars are here to give you our MVP experience. Join the fun and feast on discounts up to $4,500. Huddle up and score big on a 25 Corolla. Not $26,000, $17,988. It's a tailgate party you don't want to miss. So gobble up the savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231. And Plantation consultation, 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodyasdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store. Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days. From Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
Where can you drive the new Acura TLX for only $399 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Boys and girls, welcome aboard. We are ready to rock and roll on a beautiful Friday, March 27th, 2026, day number 19,062 since our beloved Miami Dolphins won the Super Bowl, day number 8,845 since the Canes were national champions. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Some stuff to talk about today. Got a sweet nugget for you all. I mean, not that we ever really give you guys any kind of insight on anything ever here, of course, on the program. But we've got some stuff that's going to be interesting, going to get you to think, going to be making you pissed off. Sorry, don't kill the messenger. If you're a Falcons fan, should be pumped. But anyway, so got stuff to talk about, and we'll have some fun. Panthers got the 9th spot in the playoffs. I mean, in the lottery right now because they lost to Minnesota 3-2. Bro, Tarasov had 47 saves. Yeah, you got chicken nuggets, yeah, chicken nuggets. Although I picked up my chicken biscuit right now. Since I'm here and I'm next to my chicken biscuit, I'm going to get my chicken biscuit. You know what I mean? And by the way, this one that has the mobile app order, the mobile line, I love the Chick-fil-A's that have the mobile line because you drive past like 5-7 cars. because, most people don't use the app and they don't get it and all that. And by the way, they don't understand the point system. Like, you end up with free biscuits and free sandwiches, because you gain points. Use the app, folks. Be smart. Anyway, so we got some stuff going on. You'll get your nuggets. The Panthers lose 3-2 to Minnesota. The Heat are back in action tonight against Cleveland. We'll see how they play tonight. See if they can make it 2 in a row against Cleveland, because then they got Indiana and they can win that game. That would be really, really good for them. But if they lose against Cleveland, it would be very Heat. So we'll see what happens. So we got some stuff to talk about in the NFL. A couple different topics, notes. One that's kind of like kind of throws you back a little bit here. That I read, a story that I read overall. Now, as for the markets, I would imagine it's a bad day. Obviously, things are, it's getting worse. The Dow is down now 449 points. It is down to 45,500. Remember 50,000? You couldn't complain about the Dolphins. Can't talk about Epstein files or nothing. Like when we were at 50. Nothing. You could complain about nothing. The Bundy rule. Now it's at 45. We got to check with Pam there. Can we complain now? Okay. Just wondering. S&P's down 58 points. The NASDAQ is down 2. So we got that going on. Bitcoin, we got a dip, of course, to 66,000. Especially with the news of David Sachs, the crypto AI czar, leaving the Trump administration. You know what I laugh about? I was talking to a couple of my Trumpy friends yesterday, and I always enjoy because they're always wrong on everything. And, I always enjoy killing them on everything that they're wrong because, of course, look what you're doing. And so when, obviously I didn't vote for either. I don't care about either candidate. I did not want to vote for either. But when Trump won, what do you think my friends called me and told me? Oh, you bastard. You didn't like the guy and you're a Bitcoiner. Now you're going to win. How am I winning? How am I winning? How am I winning? Bitcoin's lower than it was when he started in office. How am I winning? And that's I called him yesterday when Sachs left because I follow David Sachs and his podcast with the 3 other guys, with Jamal and all the other guys, and so when he took that job, I was like, and so I told them, you see, dude, everybody that ties themselves to that guy, you will always get disappointed. You know what I mean? And David is leaving because, just so you know, in this little crypto segment for you, David is leaving because he knows what's coming out now in the bill that's going to come out, that the stable coin people are not going to get the interest rates that they're getting now. The 3 to 4% that's coming, that they're going to bring it all the way down. Why? Because banks don't give anything to you for money. So the banks are fighting that, and they're going to win that battle, and David knows he's going to lose it, so he wants to get out because, of course, after talking about being pro, it's always talk, dude. And there's always failure there. So that's why I don't count on Democrats or Republicans. That's why I don't count on either party. I'll count on this, and I'll count on them to destroy the dollar. And that's what they'll do, and they'll do it really, really well. And I don't need their help. I don't. This will take care of itself all by itself. Human beings will figure it out, and, I'm not worried at all. I'm just going to enjoy myself, enjoy the dips, and just continue to stack and wait. I'll let the 2 parties benefit me. That's how I'll do it. That's what I told them yesterday. I go, you see how you idiots don't know shit? You don't know anything about Bitcoin. You don't know anything about crypto. You don't know anything about politics. So there you go. Anyway, we got that done. All right. And by the way, thanks to my friends at R&M Contractors, Ray and Mike. They do exceptional work. They are always sponsoring our crypto segment, and just so you'll know, and that's where this dip is coming from also. BlackRock sold $250 million also. So we are bottoming out right here. This is the definitely rock bottom right here, which is a beautiful thing. Take advantage. Never financial advice. Okay? Watch the bond market. It is exploding in the wrong way. All right? Go see what they're printing. Go see what they're doing. Inflation is going to continue to rise. We're headed for a recession. The last time folks thought we were going to a recession, Bitcoin went from 8 to 67,000. And we're now in the 60s. Where do you think it's going to go? So the rich will go and stash their money here, and things will change. And so it's already happening, but they have a lot more money. They can move a lot faster. So just telling you, never a financial advice, because I am not a financial advisor. I don't know anything. There we go. Ty in the Bronx, Tua, NFL Comeback Player of the Year in 26, Big O. Thank you, sir, for the super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you immensely. So I might as well not keep them waiting very long, right? Why am I going to wait? You know, the headline is there. People are wondering, what the hell has he got? What's he talking about? Anyway, you know, folks, sometimes as human beings, as men, as fathers, we evolve and we learn, we grow, and we have responsibilities and we have challenges. And we watch it with women all the time who are the best at this. Mothers, professional women, they balance careers, they balance the home, they balance kids, they balance life. And it's an adjustment for men and women when they have to grow and adjust to a lot of things that go on in life. And you live and you learn. And we talk about this all the time in life, that you live and learn about things that you experience. And hopefully the next time around, you're better at it from those experiences. Well, Tua Tagovailoa is a man that has gone through many experiences and professionalism, being a quarterback, being a father, being a teammate, all kinds of things. And so responsibilities are something that you learn, and hopefully you learn them young, and then you continue to refine them as you get older, right? And in the last year and a half, Tua's life changed a lot. And it changed in a way where he ended up having a second kid, which, remember, Tua is not Tom Brady. He's not going to tell, what was her name, Moynihan or some shit like that? Yeah. Moynihan and her kid, I don't got time. I'm out of here. You guys, I got better things to do with the pigskin. He's not gonna tell his wife with his other kids, I know I told you 2 years, but I'm married more to football than you guys. You know, Tua is a real father, real husband. And one of the challenges that he faced last year was fatherhood. And one of the other challenges that he faced was training. And he was training with Nick Hicks a few years back. Then he went to John Beck 2 years ago. Did not like the experience with John Beck. Left John Beck. Then had a second kid. And everything piled on him. Also had a little bit of an injury. And in all of that, didn't really rehab, didn't really train in the offseason like he was training in years past. And because of that, it all mounted, and it kind of slowed him down in everything that he did, because he realized, one, for his body, two, the surgeries that he's had in the past, he has to work at it to continue to have the flexibility and the ability to play the game at a high level. And because he did not train properly, because he wanted to balance fatherhood and football and professionalism and thought he could balance his own training without a real trainer because he didn't enjoy the John Beck experience, it all kind of, as I told you, you will get pissed off. But I'm just trying to give you the big picture of everything that's going on and being thrown at you. Plus, you walk into a dysfunctional building with a dysfunctional coach and a dysfunctional system, and it just puts it all on top of everything else. And as a man, as a father, as a professional, probably did not balance everything perfectly. In fact, he didn't. And that's where his failure came last year. And I'm told that now he is working like a beast and focused on what he has to do in order to keep his body at the shape it was 2 years ago. So now I think he's kind of figured out the fatherhood stuff, the professional stuff, the training, the off season. And, some people reported that the Dolphins were the ones that were limiting him from seeing a trainer. That's not true. Okay. He could have gone to a trainer last year, but he ended up having another kid. And then that required to be more of a father and more time. And and you ever had a newborn? Kind of, it's a balancing act, right? You know what I'm saying? And again, if you're Tom Brady, bitch, you balance it and I'll get you a nanny or two and I'm out working. Some other human beings want to be real fathers. Sorry, I got to take the shot to add the reality. It is what it is. Tom Brady is a shit father and husband. It is what it is. Just saying. Okay? He's the GOAT, but he put everything in his life behind for that. So you give him the GOAT there, he's a dog everywhere else. Let's just call the shit like it is. Okay? Because if you're going to have a wife, if you're going to have a kid, you need to pay attention to it. You can't bang Moynihan and get her pregnant and say, whatever, here's a check. You know what I'm saying? So human beings are different. They handle things differently. And I get it. You all want to program every athlete to just focus on football and not be a human being and not be a father. Well, he had to balance everything. And it kind of took time from him and it hurt him. And he learned that. He understood that. And, now that the kid is a little older now and things are a little bit more balanced, I think the Atlanta Falcons are going to benefit from the experiences and the things that happened to him in the last year and a half, because I think he has been able to rebalance what he has to do and figure out, because it's one of those things, he's kind of played with his body the entire time, figuring out what he has to do. And when he did figure it out, it looked pretty good. But then when he stopped doing what he figured out, it didn't look as good. So now you're going to see, not that you guys care, maybe some Falcons fans are watching or listening, I have no idea. Or you can share it with them if you want. But I think the Falcons are going to benefit from a man who has kind of figured out how to balance everything. Now, you're not going to see what you saw in the past, all the internet workouts and all that shit. You're not seeing that. So but from what I hear, not that I know anything at all, not that we told you Tua was going to Atlanta 2 months ago. I mean, whatever. He's back on that. So if you're a Falcons fan, you could go look at the tape from 2 years ago, and that might be the guy you're going to get. And if that's the guy you're going to get, I would not be surprised if he has a lot of success there. It's a perfect situation for him. It's a perfect division for him. The weather is never bad in that division because Carolina and Tampa, it's never going to be freezing, and New Orleans and Atlanta are all controlled environments. And so then whatever your road schedule is, it is what it is. But Atlanta is like New Orleans, like many of these dome teams. They want to have home field advantage because that's what they do, no matter what quarterbacks they've ever had. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of the game anyways for some of these dome teams is to be at home, be in the dome, and play your fast game on that carpet. So we'll see. But a lot of stuff went on in Tua's life. And it's stuff that we all picked apart and we all looked at his injury. And personally for me, I thought it was all his injury. And it wasn't all his injury. That was some of it. The other stuff had to do with fatherhood, how to break up your time, now having to get back to being trained by a trainer because you have to make the time for it. You can't, you got to find a way to balance the family and all of that. So that's what I think Falcons fans, they're not going to see any of that because they don't know any of that. But I think they're going to get a better Tua than the guy we got the last year and a half. So we'll see how it turns out for the Atlanta Falcons, but it'll be interesting to see. And I wanted to share it with you guys because I think it's something that you should know as a Dolphins fan. I know there's a lot of hate out there, and I know that there's some support still out there, for Tua. There are still people out there that are going to root for. I'm going to root for him because I don't blame him because he's part of a shit organization. I don't blame Jason and Zach and Sam and Pat. I blame the organization. They never supported him. I don't blame Marino. I know fans that tell me, Marino was never going to win or he was too selfish or this and that. I've seen that from certain fans, and I don't look at it that way either. I look at it like you didn't support Marino. The other day, somebody put up the post of Marino throwing for like 487 yards, 5 touchdowns, and they won by 4 points. They beat the Patriots by 4 points. And I retweeted that caption. I go, that was his life. He had to kill himself just to keep it above the water. I don't blame Ricky. I don't blame Lamar. I don't blame Jay Ajayi. I don't blame Cam Wake. I don't blame X with the 10 interceptions. We've had all kinds of individual. We've had some, what's it called? Positional success or one side of the ball success, but never both. So at one point or another, the franchise, whether it's ownership, front office, or coaching, has always failed every player that's walked through here for the last 40 years. Those are the facts. Okay? You had one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and you did nothing with him. You had a pretty damn good defense. I won't call it generational, but I'll call it good enough to win a Super Bowl, and you didn't give it an offense. So, I'm going to root for the kid, but I'm not going to blame the kid for everything when I know that the environment here has never been an environment for anybody to have success, including Dan Marino. By the way, our friends here at Acura of Pembroke Pines, 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Tell them that Big O sent you. Come on out here. Just talked to Larry Schlossberg as he is rocking and a-rolling and having some fun. And I do want to tell you that we have got a whole bunch of deals going on here at Acura Pembroke Pines. Let me tell you a little bit about the performance sales event going on right now at Acura Pembroke Pines. The MDX, the ADX, the Integra. The Integra, by the way, 2026, $249 a month. 2.9% financing for 60 months. The ADX, third year of that model, $319 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. The TLX Tech, that thing's like a spaceship. We still have a few of those 2025 models floating around here. $399 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. That is a joke. MDX, $499 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. Come on down here. Check out the service center. It is amazing. Mike Chan, Jordan Ferber, they know how to get it done. And by the way, really relaxing area, so you can bring your computer, do some work, watch TV. You want to watch some shows, whatever that's going on while you're rotating the tires or changing the oil. They got a little cafeteria and everything. Come see Mike Chen and Jordan Ferber. They'll take care of you at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Don't forget, folks, smash the hell out of the like button. And you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. Send in your questions, comments, or insults. Let's see. Jaybird in the house, number 1. He says, I'll be supporting Fort Lauderdale United. Yes, definitely. Oh, the watch party tomorrow. Oh, nice. Very nice. Big Johnson is in the house. NorCal, I blame McD for most of Tua's failures. Yeah, Tua will do much better out of Miami, assuming coaching knows how to bring out the best. Yep. Cosa, buenos dias, Big O. Tua still terrorizing Patsy Dolphins. Here's me, fingers crossed, wishing Tua all the best. Nice. The Cube, Tua is a bust. Allen, Tua has always sucked. Jeff in Long Island. Tony Martinez, Tua is going to light it up in Atlanta, especially with the better O-line. He's got good weapons, too. Let's see what else. Ty in the Bronx. Been saying this for weeks. Big O, Tua will have NFL Comeback Player of the Year. Could happen. Could definitely happen, my man. Tua is a bust. He is going to suck in Atlanta. Face it, he's always getting injured. It's over for Tua, says Dolphin Dave. Jeremy says, good morning and happy Friday. Good morning, Jeremy. Thank you, my brother, as always. Appreciate you. What else? Stoney Stanley, I see there. David Mendoza, I haven't watched in 2 weeks, been trucking over the road, but I'm back. Well, glad you're safe, my brother. That's the most important part. Lenny Pena, Luis Medina, Lisa Rose, Ohio John, Gus 1388. Cosa says Dave Hyde called Francisco Mendoza in a podcast with Alan. Well, I mean, bro, we all make mistakes. That doesn't mean anything. That's just whatever, bro. I screw up all the time and say names or whatever. None of us are perfect. When you're talking constantly, you're going to make mistakes. That's just part of it. There's nobody that is on the air and you're absolutely perfect and remember everything, pronounce everything, say everything right. Sometimes something will come out wrong, dude. It is what it is. That's called being a human being. Not a big deal. Don Shula failed Marino, wasted the talent, never was able to get him a good defense or running game. Exactly. The reality is our Dolphins have been a dumpster fire, says Lenny. Hold on a second. Here we go. For decades, it's very difficult for any great player to have success here. Hopefully, Sully and Half will be here for a long haul to fix the Fins. Yes, I hope so. Blessings to you, Oscar. Thank you, sir. Chuck Shannon says Tua might have some serious hip issues. Sam says, I'm done with Tua. Good luck, buddy. David says, big Tua fan. He will light it up in the dome. And North Miami Kane says, Tua sucks as a player and a person. I never stood how he had this halo over his head. He may fill some meaningless regular season stats, but will never be a successful QB1. There you go. So we've got the folks that are definitely pulling against him and others that, I guess are not blaming him. And that's me. I'm not blaming him. And I wish him the best. I wish all these guys the best, to be quite honest. All of them. Ray, thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. Thank you for sending some Bitcoin. Appreciate you. He says, good morning. Happy Friday. Love the shirt. You need an XRP shirt. These are the days that I want to sport this stuff because obviously we're at 65.7 right now. And thank you, sir, for the dip. That was very nice. And it's just, people get nervous and I don't. This is all the David Sack stuff and everything going on. And I'm just, all I know is that I can see what the government does on both sides of the fence. And I know where Bitcoin's going to end up because I know where the dollar's going to end up. So, we're spending $2 billion a day. Think about that on the war. $2 billion a day of our tax money. $2 billion a day. We can fund so much for so many people here in this country with that. Instead, we're funding a war. It's insanity. And it's going to get worse because it's going to escalate. So we're going to spend even more per day. So, bond market is going to crap right now. It's bad, man. It's bad. So it's going to power this to kingdom come. And I'm not worried at all. I've never flinched with any of this stuff because I really understand what's going on. Unfortunately, by the way, it's going to be sad. We'll be in a recession later on this year, early next year, and it's going to hurt a lot of people, dude. A lot of people. Sucks. Really does. Anyway, we got some stuff to talk about on the program. We are going to talk to David Furones. Is he there yet? No, right? Oh, no, that's right. That's right. You may want to go get him and remind him, by the way, since we're almost there. Yeah, Furones will join us at the top of the hour, actually, now that I remember. Furones will join us at the top of the hour. By the way, the whole Brady stuff, because I saw the story of Brady asking the NFL if he could come back to play. I got to tell you something, and I'm going to be quite honest on this one, when am I not? I'm tired of this story so much. I want him to come back. He would get killed. He didn't want to get hit that last year. He would get annihilated now at this point. I don't know why he keeps trying to explore it, and that's because, it's the stupid things they do, whether you're Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, it doesn't matter who you are, Joe Namath, whatever, Larry Bird. We've seen them all hang on, and that they're a shell of themselves, and they continue to hang on and all that kind of stuff. And that's what he would be at this point. So I know the NFL got all like, wait a minute, dude, you're a broadcaster, you're an owner, and this are, and so they weren't happy about even bringing it up. But it's almost, again, it goes back to my conversation that I told you about Tua and how he faced the whole family thing, because he takes being a husband and a father serious. Okay? It's not like it's going to be, no, football is over. No, family's first. Okay? For that guy, it wasn't. It never was. Never will be. So, but now it's because his ego, and I get it, dude, you won 7 Super Bowls, so you should have that ego. But I'd give anything to see him come back, because it would end up the way all of them do. The way every single great player that hangs on too long and does not have the ability they used to, it ends all the same way. And the last year was already looking like that. So what were you going to do? Come back to a bad team like the Raiders? Oh, please. Please, dude. Please. I would love to see you take that beating, because that's the thing I laugh about, because I saw him that final year and he regretted playing that third year by the way he was playing. So now you're going to come back after that third year, like 4 or 5 years later. I don't know how long it's been, but it's been something like that. Yeah, no. But I'd give anything to see him come back and take a beating, because that's exactly what would happen. So what can I tell you? What else? Jeff in Long Island, I see you there. Anthony Kyle Campos.
Oscar, I don't wish any bad for Tua. I'm focused on our team and building a dynasty. Focus on trying to win a playoff game, bro. Dynasty. You're like way ahead of yourself. Sibley is in the house. Renee. What else? All right. Brady would be better than Tua on Atlanta. Well, maybe. I think Brady would get killed wherever he goes. His old stiff ass at this point would fall apart. That's what I think. But hey, man, more power to him. What can I say? I'd give anything to see him come back because I'd love to see him take a beating. That's for sure. All right, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. The one and only Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. Custom printing and embroidery. Last night, the Minnesota Wild. They got wild on Florida, 3-2. Tarasov went wild, 47 saves in that one. Ekblad and Kachuk both had goals. Kachuk also had an assist last night. Saturday, they will visit the Rangers at 1 o'clock on Saturday. Tonight, the Heat are back in action to take on the Cavs. Cavs favored by 4.5 points. Over and under is 242.5. The Heat are plus 185 on the money line. Cleveland is minus 200. I think Vegas is expecting revenge night tonight for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Plus, remember, you were playing Cleveland on a back-to-back night. They had just played the night before. So it was pretty amazing that they made that comeback in the third quarter that got it to 90-90. I was actually shocked that Cleveland came back because it looked to me like they were kind of toast, like they were kind of, tired from the night before. And then they found that energy, and I'm like, oh, shit. And I wasn't really, I didn't feel good about the Heat winning that game the other night when it went to 90-90. And then the Heat responded. So I think they are expecting them to bounce back. Saturday at 7 o'clock, the Carolina Ascent will take on the Fort Lauderdale United in Carolina, by the way. All right? In Carolina. So just in case. What else do we have going on? And Inter Miami, they are off till April 4th. That's when they will host Austin at Chase Stadium. And that's when the new stadium will open for that game against Austin. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. By the way, I do want to remind you, if you're going to any event there, okay, because obviously soccer's first. It's coming up here in a week and a half. Make sure you take the Metro fail. Okay? Do not drive into that place. I'm telling you, don't do it. Do not do it. Go to a Metro rail station that you go look at the line and find one that's kind of close to the stadium, but, stop or two away and park there and then Metro rail into the game. And if you could do it from a farther spot because, you're convenient wherever you're at, then go ahead. But do not, I'm telling you, don't do it. It's going to be logistically a nightmare. This is the worst place to put a stadium. Okay? We needed it. I understand. They had to do it. They got to force it, whatever. That golf course wasn't doing shit anyways. You're going to produce a lot more money, a lot more taxes with what you're doing there than you were with the silly golf course. Okay? So I don't have a problem with, eliminating that. But it's definitely something that is made for the Metro Rail. Okay? It really is. And man, did we screw up back in the 80s. If we would have built the Metro Rail through all three counties and into the beaches, do you know how much it would alleviate traffic now? Do you know how much people would have gotten used to? Like they don't have to use a car all the time. They can use the Metro Rail to go everywhere. Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, go to the beaches, go out west. We should have We should have done that. I wish we would have, because look at how much money it would have saved us, right? What do you think, Larry? If we would have back in the 80s, if we would have built out the Metro Rail through all 3 counties and into the beaches.
Yes, it would have saved us quite a bit of money. I mean, who knew?
And Reagan ripped us. The quote from Reagan back in the day was, they could have bought a Cadillac for everyone in Dade County instead of doing it. And, which is still a myopic point of view, because if you would have built it out by now, we had people that would have been using it normal.
Oh, yeah. It would have been part of our just everyday society, everything that's going on around South Florida.
Yeah. The only negative, we sell less Acuras.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
No. That's not a good thing here. Now, Mr. Zinn may not like that I mentioned that.
One of the great things about South Florida, just one of the many, is that there's really not a great public transportation system.
We suck.
So we have that ability to and we're expanding our roadways, or we're trying to anyway.
That
when the lanes aren't closed, they're trying to widen something and build a bridge to somewhere. So that all being said, we're always getting new cars, and we always got great deals.
If you don't have a car in this town,
there's only one place to come get it.
No, but I'm saying you need a car. You can't count on public transportation.
No,
dude.
Absolutely not.
You know what I'm saying? The public transportation is a cancer in this town. It's unusable, to be quite honest. Basically for most people, unless you live right on US 1 and work on US 1.
Yeah, I see some people utilizing the Bright Line, to get to Orlando.
Okay,
and, and from Miami to Fort Lauderdale and stuff like that. So it's kind of becoming a little bit a part of a thing there.
Yeah. But I'd rather get on a nice MDX and just cruise to
What year
Orlando.
did Ronald Reagan say that about the? What year was that?
Dude, when we're rebuilding it, when in the 80s exactly? Like it must have been. I want to say Why don't you look up the quote for me? 83. I'm going to guess 83.
I was going to say 83 or 84.
Just put Ronald Reagan Metro Rail Cadillac, and it'll come out, because that was his quote. You can buy a Cadillac for each person in Dade County or something like that. And it was a funny quote at that time, because it was expensive.
Right.
But when you think about it, back in the day, now it would have been super cheap.
Yeah. Well, what crossed my mind just now is that the reason he said Cadillac was because Acura didn't come out till 86.
Oh.
So actuality, it's the 40th anniversary of Acura today.
Oh.
The brand was launched on this day in March of 1986 with their line of 1987 models. And that was the Legend and the Integra. So had he said this in 86, he would have said, we're going to give everybody a Legend.
Right.
Not a DeVille or whatever.
And by the way, some of those Acuras are worth a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They're collectibles.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it. Mr. Zinn has like a warehouse of the Toyotas that are like.
He's got some very, very interesting pieces in his collection.
You know what I miss? I miss when he puts them out at Hollywood. He doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
He used to put 2 or 3 of them on, and just to show them
off.
Vintage
cars, right?
Some of his vintage cars, and he's got a collection, dude. That's a sweet collection. You got it? All right. What is it?
In Miami, the $1 billion federal subsidy helped build a system that serves less than 10,000 daily riders. That comes to $100,000 a passenger. It would have been a lot cheaper to buy everyone a limousine.
Oh, a limousine.
Oh, a limousine. Okay.
Cadillac. Right. I thought it was Cadillac. Limousine. Okay.
All right. Well,
so
at that time, all the limousines were
because
Cadillacs,
it just went US 1.
Yeah.
I understood what he was talking about.
Sure.
And it was like a fair criticism at that moment.
Absolutely.
It was a super fair criticism, because at that time we were like, yo, bro, like, okay, like, let's go up North Miami.
Yeah.
Go up 8th Street.
Yeah.
Go up Bird Road. Go up Kendall Drive.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
But if you just do that,
Yeah, the whole thing was connecting the East to the West, right?
Right. Yeah, it just wasn't enough. You wanted to connect everything. If you're going to do it, you got to connect. You got to go all the way into the beaches, dude.
Yeah.
That's really what you would have to do. But that will never happen, unfortunately, now at this point. But the good thing is we got some deals going on here.
It's crazy. It's madness.
I don't know. I don't understand the interest rates. That's where people really need to take advantage because it is dirt cheap, dude.
Well,
what you got going on right now?
What, thankfully, Acura's does, and they really push in March. The manufacturer, because this is, they have their fiscal year and it ends in March. So now it's like they have the emergency fund, let's keep this in case it's a rainy day kind of money. Well, we're running out of runway. So now let's spend it and let's buy down interest rates. Let's throw money at these deals to make the lease payments make sense. Like, why not upgrade the car? I may have only a year left on my lease, but I could get the 26 and with the touch screen and the nicer wheels and the new color. I mean, why wait? And so there's really no reason to at this point. In March is always a big month. We always push hard. The inventory's here. We sell down quite a bit of inventory coming out of the end of the year, and then the factory's got to get up and running again. Now we got trucks coming in every day, plenty of new inventory, beautiful 2026 vehicles. Again, we got some new colors. There's some new trims, and the deals. I haven't seen deals like this since COVID. I mean, we're back in business. They're building cars and they're spending money, and then you guys can take advantage of that as the consumer. It's a great time. It's a great time right now.
And right now, when we, and the MDX is maybe one of the best SUVs on the planet, dude.
It is still
like it's a tank.
The number one. It's still the number one. This is a fact. Number one, third row luxury SUV in America in sales volume of all time. It came out in 2001, and here we are in 2026, 25-year anniversary of the MDX, and it's a tank, like you said, it's a tank.
I mean, it is truly one of the great SUVs on the planet, and I would tell you that if you value your wife, you want her in an MDX. Put it that way. That's what I'm saying. Basically, you put her in that car and she's safe and she feels great and it's super efficient.
It's efficient.
Which is ridiculous.
The amount of time Acura spends, it's an engineering company.
Right.
They spend all their time on engineering and how to make it better. They're not trying to make the most of them. They're not trying to be the biggest. They're trying to be the best. So when you get an Acura, when you spend your 50 something to up to 70 something thousand dollars on an MDX, lease payments are so low compared to what the MSRPs are. So don't be afraid by what you heard. But you take that same 50, 60, $70,000 and walk into a BMW store or a Mercedes-Benz store, or even a Lexus store. You're not getting all that content. No. You're just not getting all those features. I mean, we're talking about massaging seats and air suspension and Brembo brakes and panoramic roof and Bang & Olufsen sound system.
$499 a month, dude.
And it's pretty nuts what you can drive. You can get all that value for that small payment.
$499 a month for the MDX. Every time I look at that, it's like, and you get 3.9% financing for 60 months. They still have 2025 TLXs, $399 a month, 3.9% financing. The RDX, my wife drives it, $399 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. The ADX, I believe this is the third year of the model.
Second year of ADX.
Second year.
Came out in 25.
$319 a month, 3.9% financing. How has that gone? Because it's a beautiful vehicle.
ADX is crushing the segment. Back to a comparison, if you want to look at the GLA or the Audi Q3 or the Lexus NX, bang for the buck, dollar for dollar styling, features, it really can't be beat. It's just a secret right now because they just came out a year ago.
Right.
So people are probably seeing them on the road and going, what is that? I haven't seen that
before.
It's a
new model. Yeah.
It's not like you dreamed your whole life of one day driving one because it's only been out a year.
Right.
But yeah, it's probably the number one. Well, it's rivaling MDX in sales volume.
Right.
Because it's the right size car, a younger driver,
$319.
The sport utility of it. You put that seat down, you got dogs, you're an outdoorsy person going to the beach, you're doing your thing, you're driving a lot, you want to be fuel efficient, you want to be comfortable, you want to have a great sound system, you want to be able to put your product in the back of your car so you can go out and sell it and make that payment, you're covered.
And the Integra, $249 a month, 2.9% financing.
A segment crusher.
Ridiculous.
You look at the comparative cars when you're looking at the CLA Mercedes Benz or Lexus IS. The car's got everything you need. And it's a hatchback. It's a 5-door. You fold those seats down. You could fit your dog in there.
By the way, I want to congratulate you.
Well, thank you.
Because I saw that you were the guy that purchased David Gilmour's 6 of Pink Floyd's albums, a guitar that he did on 6 of them, and it sold for a record $14.6 million, making it the most expensive guitar ever sold at Christie's auctions. Gilmour played the 69 Fender Stratocaster, nicknamed the Black Strat, on all British rock bands' albums between 1970 and 1983, including The Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here, and The Wall. The guitar sold to an unnamed buyer, Larry Schlossberg.
Why did you name
after
it, man?
21 minutes of that's what I do. I break news here on the show all the time.
Buddy.
So you know what I mean? Like,
I thought we had some kind of agreement. I was trying to have some level of anonymity.
Like, are you going to jam this with Doors Alive? I mean, like, what's going on here?
I cannot. This guitar is not going to be leaving the house.
It's in your house?
Yes. Well,
that's worth more than your house.
Yes. Well, actually, I'm selling the house now because I have a guitar payment to make.
Yes.
And so I'm looking for a place to stay.
Can you believe that?
It's incredible.
But I'm kind of well. I mean, the albums it played on alone.
Well, yes, it's an iconic instrument.
But I would not label David Gilmour to be the guy that holds the record. I would be. It's Jimi Hendrix, right? And
Right.
no, it's Eddie Van Halen. It's some nutbag that goes crazy for like you and I know, and you know more than I do because you're a guitarist. David Gilmour is one of the greatest guitarists
Absolutely.
of all time.
Absolutely.
Don't get tricked by the Pink Floyd music, okay?
No, absolutely.
You know, it's
some of the most iconic solos in rock history.
It's like Lindsey Buckingham. It's the same shit. People are like, what? And Lindsey Buckingham is one of the baddest ass guitar players ever. When he leaves Fleetwood Mac, they always have to replace him with two guitars.
They bring 2 guys in, right?
Two guys to play his damn role.
for
Okay?
sure.
So it shows you what he is, how special. Never be fooled by the style of music that somebody plays, because then you're going to go, oh, John Mayer, that guy's pretty good, actually.
John Mayer's great guitar.
I know, exactly. So, but I never expected David Gilmour to be the guy that holds that record.
Well, here's what it is.
What I mean?
It's more of the iconicness of that actual guitar.
Yeah.
Because that guitar was that was it. That black Strat with the black pick guard that he customized. That, I think he took a neck from one guitar and put it on the other guitar and changed the pick guard. Normally on a black Strat, there's a white pick guard to put a black pick guard on it. Those pickups and some of the most iconic rock solos of all times, Money, Comfortably Numb, were played on that guitar. Eddie Van Halen, obviously, a game-changing, people call him King Edward. He's whatever. It's the next level of changing the game, but he played a lot of different guitars.
Right.
So a matter of fact, one of his iconic guitars is buried with Dimebag Darrell. He gave it to the Dimebag's widow, and it's buried in Dimebag's casket. So Eddie came up with his own guitars, his own line of guitars. He was endorsed with Kramer. He was endorsed with Peavey, and then he created his own EVH brand. So with Music Man and before that, he was using building guitars from parts. So it's not as an iconic of that's the one guitar that made all those records, because he kind of went through stages.
Yeah. It's impressive.
It's obviously.
But for Gilmour to hold that, I was like, wow, man.
Records are made to be broken, right?
Yeah.
Well, be honest with you, before that, I think it was Kurt Cobain's guitar. So whatever he was as far as a game changer in music with his songwriting and singing, he's not known as the guitar player.
No, he's more of a songwriter
and singer and frontman and visionary of a style.
Definitely.
All those things.
Yeah, he's not really considered a great guitarist by any stretch.
Not known as the guitar player.
No. No, not at all. Not at all. There's no doubt. It's songwriting and song style that he came up with.
And
just
that breakthrough
grunge
video and all that whole launching of that that genre.
Smell the Teen Spirit thing was just like
Smell
Teen Spirit was just amazing. But man, I saw that and I go, wow, Larry is banking it, bro.
Yeah. Well, thank goodness for those Integra and ADX sales.
That is absolutely amazing. All right, so it's the end of the month.
It's
what do
the
we
end
got
of the
going
month.
on?
It's the end of the month. It's our Spring Into Performance sales event. That's what Acura is calling it. Also now beginning the celebration of the 40th anniversary for Acura. So they're throwing everything at it. As I said earlier, the inventory levels are high. The incentive spend from the factory is there. The interest rates are low. There's rebate programs. If you're driving an Acura, you get additional money. If you're driving a competitive model, you get additional money for a Conquest rebate that they have in order to lower your payment on your lease or purchase. Again, we've got every model, we've got every trim, and there's great stuff to look at, and I'm sure something that'll fit your budget. Additionally, incredible deals on certified pre-owned vehicles. I have 1- and 2-year-old cars that people maybe they bought them and they forgot, and that they never drove them, and then they decided to trade them in and get another one. So we have cars with 4,000 or 5,000 miles on them, 1-year-old car, where your warranty is actually longer than the one on the brand new cars because you get a 6-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Again, with additional support from the factory.
This is nothing new, by the way. They've been doing this for a long time.
Special low interest rates. You can even lease a certified pre-owned car now. They have a special program for leasing. You can do a 2 or 3 year lease on a certified pre-owned car. Basically, you rent to own. If you choose to buy it at the end of the lease, it's yours.
And by the way, let me squash something. Oh, I don't want to buy a car. It's got 4,000 or 5,000. Maybe it was my wife has hers. It's 16 years old. She bought that kind of car. She didn't want to buy it brand new. She could have, but she found one that she liked, and it had 4,000 miles on it. And she got a hell of a deal on it, better than the regular deal, plus the coverage. And she's had it now for 16 years. So I would suggest if you can find those kind of cars, oh, dude, that's a deal.
Some of these cars,
Steal.
Basically, you're buying for $10,000 off
I know.
the original MSRP one.
Exactly.
So talk about not worry about taking depreciation. You're buying the car. It could even be a 26 with a 6-month-old car with 4,000 or 5,000 miles on it. It's $10,000 less than a brand new one.
That's right. That's right.
It's a great time. If you're in the market for a vehicle or you just want to come by and meet Big O, then what better time to do it than today?
There you go.
We got free Wi-Fi and Starbucks coffee.
Come see my guy, Larry Schlossberg. By the way, when you go inside the service center, Mike Chan, Jordan Ferber, a nice place to relax. They got you can buy a little pastelli. You can get something to drink. They got complimentary water. They've got internet there. They've got TVs. So while you're getting your oil changed, tires rotated, they will take care of you.
Hey, and if you tell me that if you come by the dealership, you find me, I'm always here.
Yes,
tell me that you heard about us on the Big O show.
There you go.
Your refreshments or treats are on me at the cafe.
There you go. How about that?
What do you need?
While you're buying, leasing, you're stuffing your face. It's
Cuban
a beautiful
coffee,
thing.
Fritos.
There
You want a chicken Caesar wrap? What? You just tell me.
There you go. Chicken Caesar wrap and everything. That's a treat right there. Larry, you're the best, my brother.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
You.
Rock on.
There you go. Always, baby. The great Larry Schlossberg here at Craig Zitz.
Try to control yourself.
Acura Pembroke Pines. Good stuff. All right. Appreciate you all out there as always. David Furones will join us here at the top of the hour. Ray, yes, there's no doubt David Gilmour is a guitar god, bro. Guitar god. $14.6 million for that guitar. Larry Schlossberg's got some cash, bro. Damn. When I grow up, I want to be Larry Schlossberg.
And he said it was at his house, but there's a box in the office there.
Right. Yes.
I'm wondering.
Yes. Yes.
I walked in, he wasn't in there. I didn't know at the time. It could have been that,
Could have been. Derek says, Big O, I've been living in New Orleans now for 2 years. What's your prediction for the Saints? Yeah, I don't think there'll be much. Middling team, you know what I mean? It's the Shug kid. If he can improve on what he did last year, that'll be the interesting part if they found themselves a quarterback. But I don't think they're going to the playoffs or anything like that. But, I mean, they should be slightly better than they were last year. All depends on the young quarterback if he can take that next step. I know that they're getting out of their cap hell because I think this past year was kind of their last year of cap hell, and then they start to get better, I think it is, their cap situation. I don't follow it that close, but I think cap-wise they get in a better situation now too because they've been in some cap issues too. Let's see. Brian Landis, Lenny Pena. What else? Think Blue Dodgers I see there. The generation desperately needs to learn more about the old school ways of parents and grandparents. Oh, you guys are talking about something else there. Oh, okay. And Larry, is Larry witness protection? I guess he has a bodyguard too. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes, he walks around with several bodyguards. I mean, well, if he's carrying a $14.6 million guitar with him.
Yeah, it makes sense now. And also the lighting was my issue. I got to get that fixed.
Oh, yeah, on that side. Yeah, on that side. It was, he was.
I brought a light I thought would help, and it did not do much of anything. So
it's too big. What's behind you?
Yeah, I'm going to have to try to figure out a different standard there on that.
Yeah, he may have to be over here.
I don't know if that. I mean. It
like
may help,
sitting next to me like that, looking that way. That way the light is both facing us. You put the camera there. That's what you're going to have to do. Or you get out of there and he sits there. And then you sit there. You switch. Oh, actually, you know what it is? Next time you do the show on that side and then he sits here. Boom.
Yeah, I'll probably just bring the other table then and set up that way, I guess.
Right, yeah, that's what you do. You just do the show.
I can't have him doing the cable. The reason it's easier over there.
Right, so you set up everything on that side.
Yeah.
And then he just sits next to me, and that's it. And then the lighting will be just fine. Sorry about that. You know, Larry is a handsome fellow, so maybe, the ladies would have all ended up rushing over. So it's a good thing we kept him in the dark. You know what I mean? So
it's part of the game. You have to figure out who he is when you get here to ask him. So now you get the chicken Caesar wrap and everything else. We can't just show you his identity because then it takes away from the game.
Exactly. That's it. That's how you gotta figure it out. I'm with you there. All right. What else do we have going on? By the way, send Furones a reminder because he obviously is running a tad late. Oh, by the way, did you guys see? Oh, he's there. I was going to do it now, but I'll hold it off. But there's a player, a former NBA great, who is pissed, bro. He's pissed, but we'll get into it. I gotta question the guy too, to a certain extent. He's not savvy enough. That's partly his fault. All right, let's do it. Hour number 2. Let's talk a little Miami Dolphins with the one and only David Furones right here with our Welt and Rheaume Miami Dolphins report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rheaume Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welt and Rheaume has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right. How you doing, my brother?
I'm feeling good, man. Weekend coming up. We got owners meetings after. Well, I travel to Phoenix on Sunday, so we'll hear from Sully and Half on the offseason to this point. So that's coming up soon, and a lot of things going on in all sports. You got opening day in baseball. You got March Madness going on. NBA season, obviously. So and NHL. So yeah, I mean, a lot going on right now. Tennis, Miami Open.
One of the things I brought up to you a couple months back was Tua going to Atlanta, and it kind of happened. One of the other things that I brought up this morning now, Tua, his issues from last year, and we've talked about it. And I kind of found out what happened last year. And it's a very interesting mix of things that happened to Tua last year, in the last year. And one was he had didn't enjoy his experience with John Beck. And so after leaving Nick Hicks, then he went to John Beck. And then last year, he didn't train with anybody. And some people said it was the Dolphins that limited him from that. That is actually not true. In the new deal, that was not part of it. They did not limit him from that. What actually happened to Tua last year was he had a second child. And he had to balance fatherhood, football, and getting ready for the season all at once. And he didn't train like he had trained before. He didn't find a trainer like he had trained, like he had done before. And also had the hip injury too. All of those things kind of caught up to him because he's not Tom Brady, where he's going to tell Moynihan and the kid, get the hell out of here, or tell Giselle and the kids, yeah, you're not that important. I'm going to football for a third year. He cares about his family. So he didn't balance it the way you needed to. And, you know, you live and learn, you know what I mean? Because you feel like you got to be a father. I heard this offseason, he has got his trainer. He's working like an absolute maniac to get to where he was before. And I think that a lot of the stuff that we saw last year was a product of his whole life coming all at once and him having to learn how to balance fatherhood, off-season workouts, football, all those responsibilities. Plus, you're walking into a dysfunctional building every single day, which doesn't help you either on top of all of that. And I think that was all part of the failures from last year for him and everybody else, you know, on the team. I actually think the Atlanta Falcons are going to get a different Tua than you saw in 2025. Your thoughts on what I told you?
Yeah, all of that seems to track when you notice it and take a look at the drop-off that we saw from Tua Tagovailoa. I'll throw all those things in with also the fact that he got paid, and whether consciously or subconsciously, that you get to a certain point in your career and you say, okay, this is working for me. And maybe almost like any one of us in our normal everyday lives, like let's say it's with working out and staying healthy, or you know, if you lose some weight and then maybe you're kind of happy with where you are, and then you say, oh, let me see how much I could get away with, like going back to you know, eating donuts or something, going back to eating whatever something you like, or if I cut down on how many days I actively exercise. You know, will I still maintain what I've already built up? And then you try to draw back, and then you see, oh shit, not that didn't work. I got to go back to what I was doing before to maintain that certain level of health. Maybe on a greater scale, this is what happened with him. Is okay, I can. I've made it this far. Maybe I can draw back and take some time away from this offseason training that has led to you know, a certain level of success that he had reached. Being the passing yards leader in 23, another year passer rating and yards per completion percentage in 24, being a Pro Bowler 1 year, maybe trying to figure out, okay, I can find some balance, especially as I do juggle fatherhood with this professional career that I have. And I guess it really did come together where he found out, okay, no, he went too far back the other way. So, yeah, I'm not privy to how he's been working out this offseason, but I'm assuming you're right, especially for a player who is coming off the year that he did and moving off from a team. That's kind of just
the only thing I don't know is who he's working out with.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I don't know. But you're not going to get the internet clips that you've gotten in the past with Nick Hicks and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And he didn't really do it with John Beck, and I don't think you're going to see it now. But I am told that he's back with a trainer again and like working like a maniac to get back to where he was.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I won't be as tuned in to everything Tua's doing. You know, now that he's obviously off the Dolphins. Right. Yeah, I cover the Dolphins. So I'm no longer on the Tua beat. Yeah, I mean that tracks because he needs to get back to what was working for him in the past. So I mean, I think it was humbling for him. It's got to be because even as he got paid and he got his money, then I think he's got to come to the realization it's not just that it doesn't just happen for you just because you've done it before. There's a certain quality that you have to maintain in your training to remain consistent and uphold those results. So I guess that hit Tua hard last year.
And by the way, he's not a naturally gifted athlete. So he doesn't have that luxury that he can walk out of bed and throw a 70-yard bomb because he's got that gift from God. No, he has to work at it, He has to work at it to make sure he stays sharp and at the best he can be because he doesn't have those physical gifts that those other guys do. And I think that's what he learned. And fatherhood and all that shit took up his time because he had 2 kids all of a sudden. And he actually puts family in front of football. You know what I mean? There are some, I know all fans and all that, they want their guys to just focus on the sport and don't care about life or human beings or whatever. But that's just not the reality, most people put their families in front of everything and then, starts profession, and so I think he failed in that area on balancing it. He didn't realize how much he really needed to kind of work because he's not gifted like these other guys. He can't do what Caleb Williams could do. He'll never be able to do any of that shit. It's not who he is, dude. It's not who he ever will be.
Yeah, it shows that the concerns were valid last year. Remember when there was like the shot of him on the boat? Oh, he's holding a beer. You see the belly pop out a little bit. It's like, and sometimes, okay, yeah, you can look unflattering in a picture because of an angle, or you weren't sucking it in at that moment, and the belly shows. But it showed to be valid. It showed to be valid that he was kind of letting himself go a little bit, and yeah, also with what. Like his quote unquote superpowers that Darrell Bevell used to refer to. It was like some of those were accuracy, anticipation. Like those are things that you need to constantly work on. It's not like, you can just let it go for a few months and then you come back OTAs and into training camp and then you're that same accurate passer. Like you constantly have to be doing it. You constantly have to be sharp. Like I was at the fair with a couple of friends earlier this week, and then we passed by the hoops or whatever, and then these are like my longtime friends where I've got the reputation of out of our friend group I was like the best basketball player among us, and we passed by the basketball hoops, and my friends are like, oh yeah David, you go, and I'm there like, man, I would have no confidence in my jump shot right now. I haven't played basketball in ages. I would not want to go embarrass myself trying to shoot a basketball. I would need to warm up a little bit, and you only get like 1 shot, pay for 3 shots or something. So I'm like, nah, I'll pass. I'm not doing that right now. That's what it is for a quarterback. You have to constantly be throwing and constantly be working out so you stay sharp and you stay on top of your game. So you're not just like trying to pick it back up after an off season of inactivity.
Yeah. To me, we'll see what ends up happening from what the information that I've gathered, I just think that Atlanta's got a chance now. They actually have a chance to get the Tua that we saw 2 years ago, not the Tua we saw in the last year and a half that looked like that guy can't play in the NFL. That's what he looked like, the guy that can't play in the NFL at all. So if he is back to form, we shall see. But if I'm told that if that's what it is, and I think he's got a shot to actually play well there. I really do.
I wouldn't doubt it for a second, especially now he can kind of combine all the mishaps along the way where it's like, okay, 1 year, so you got to stay healthy. Well, like last year, it wasn't because of health. He started all 14 games. He was available every game that he was the starter. It was only because he got actually benched for Quinn Ewers when the team was eliminated. Whether it was adding the arm strength one off season, okay, he got his downfield pass. It's never going to be an elite downfield pass.
No,
enough where he could do that. He could do that in the NFL. At least he could get the ball out there to a receiver. And so, I think if he combines everything that has gone wrong in one season or another, and then works to just now have a holistic approach into how to go about it, and cover all those bases, along with the weapons he'll have. And he talked about it when he spoke to a Falcons media of having a Drake London, having a Kyle Pitts, and Bijan Robinson back there. And then now he might have to make sure he's not confused with Bijan and Brian Robinson, because he's got both B. Robinson running backs in Atlanta. But if he can get everything together with the weapons, then I wouldn't be surprised that he does have a huge comeback season.
When are you expecting the Devon Achane trade to happen?
Oh, trade. You're going down the trade route.
Well, you don't live in reality? I know sometimes you like to pump that hopium. You know he's getting traded, right? I mean, somebody's going to offer him. I have the answer, but I'm just wondering what's your answer to it?
I'm still leaving it open to potentially that they do try to take him along with this new. They don't want to say rebuild. We're calling it a rebuild. You can have a rebuild with some pieces maintained in place. But I think it would take a huge offer. I mean, I think they'll still listen. I know you got the report that teams are getting turned away. I believe that they want to roll forward with Devon Achane.
Oh, I don't.
But if it's an offer that floors them away. I hear you. I know that.
Dude, if you want to roll forward with somebody, you roll forward with Waddle. You don't roll forward with Achane. Running backs are interchangeable.
You got a first and third for Waddle.
That's my point. If you were going to keep anybody long term in a receiver league, you keep a young receiver with you for, especially since you signed a young quarterback. Running backs are the most interchangeable position in the NFL. I think running backs are also so dangerous to keep. Plus, he's not a big running back. Whatever anybody says, we've been playing with fire for 4 years. Okay, or 3 years. I'm sorry, because this is going to be his fourth year. We've been playing with fire for 3 years. That guy's not a big guy. For you to avoid injury for a long time at that size, it's Russian roulette every single time. And at one point or another, the bullet's going to be in the chamber on the next spin. And so to me, they're dying to trade him, but they need the right offer. And I think it'll happen either in the draft or just right after the draft. When a team finds out they don't get the running back they wanted in the draft at that day or right after the draft, I think that's when desperation sets in. And then that's when Devon Achane becomes a pick for the 2027 season, not the 2026 season. I think that's what Achane's going to be. He's going to be a part of the pick for the future, not the now.
No, I mean, it's certainly possible. But I wouldn't put it as like the Dolphins are set on trading him. And also what you're mentioning with the wide receiver running back positional value, you're not going to get the same return for Achane, even though I would say Achane is a better running back than Waddle is a wide receiver. But because of that positional difference, then you get the return of a late first and a third round pick plus a fourth round swap to ship off a Waddle, which I always kind of felt like if you get a first for Waddle from a contending team, which would be picking late in the first, then sure, you go for that. And then they got that offer that they just couldn't refuse. I don't know if there will be a team that goes the offer you can't refuse route. It might be like, okay, it's you offer inches forward and being a little bit better, but it won't be one that blows them away. So I think unless it's something that does blow them away, then yes, we'll see that. But yeah, certainly a possibility if teams don't get the running back they want in the draft. But even just exactly what you're saying about why it's dangerous for the Dolphins to keep Achane, those are the same reasons why teams might not come forward with the whole pick haul.
I don't think it'll be a pick haul. I think it'll be like a second rounder, maybe another late round pick or something like that. I think they haven't gotten a second round offer yet. I think they've gotten third round offers or fourth round offers. And because running backs, since they aren't really valuable, they're not going to give you a very high pick. But I think if a contender who needs a running back doesn't get the one that they want in the draft, and they feel like, okay, we need a playmaker at this position. And my God, Devon Achane is one of the best playmakers at that position. I just think that if there's a contender that doesn't get the running back they need in the draft, they're going to go after Devon Achane and give up a future second rounder for him, because they know that they are a championship or playoff caliber team. And that guy is one of the 5 best playmakers at that position. So that's why I think, David, that he ends up going at some point in the draft or just after the draft for a future pick. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, certainly possible. That's a good scenario that you lay out of a team that, especially with a player of Achane's caliber, how he can change a game. Then sure, I can see like the impact Saquon Barkley had for the Eagles and putting them over the top. If someone can see that Achane do a similar thing for their offense, then yeah, the different thing where Saquon was free agency, but yeah, if Achane, you can only acquire him via trade right now, then sure. I mean,
what if Seattle wants to say, what did they replace Walker with, by the way? Did they replace Walker? What if Seattle says, because it's really a late second round.
It might just be counting on Charbonnet.
Yeah, but what if Seattle says after the draft they didn't get the guy they wanted, and they go, we're Super Bowl caliber. Let's get this guy here, bro. That'll help out Sam Darnold like crazy, and we'll give up a second rounder and a 5th to the Dolphins for Achane or something like that. I could see certain scenarios of elite teams, the teams that are they feel like they are. What they get? George Holani is a running back 1, and what? Emmanuel Lewis, isn't that like wasn't that like the short kid in the 80s? Emmanuel Lewis, wasn't it?
Emmanuel Wilson.
It was Emmanuel Wilson. You know who I'm talking about?
But yeah, I mean,
Webster.
I would
Webster. Wasn't it Webster Emmanuel Lewis? I thought it was. I thought Webster was Emmanuel Lewis. Anyways.
Oh, you know what? They got Kenny McIntosh as well.
Yeah,
right? But South Florida kid. I know he would be down the depth chart, but.
Oh, they got Charbonnet and McIntosh on IR. So what I'm saying is a scenario like that they say, what the hell, dude? Let's go for it. You know what I mean? And let's put us over the top or something like that. I can see something like that with Achane. I really can. Can.
I think we just saw, though, that because they didn't value their Super Bowl MVP to the level of keeping him on a contract.
Yeah, but again, can he catch passes like Achane?
Right. Achane's a different animal. Yeah.
Achane's a completely different. This guy's just a runner. He's like a mediocre pass catcher. Achane is an elite runner and an elite pass catcher. He is a better pass catcher than half the receivers in the league. I mean, that guy's a freak of a talent. So that's why I'm saying that a guy like this could be added at some point in the draft or just after, if somebody doesn't get the impactful player that they want there. That's all I'm saying. I'm just leaving it out there for you.
And you see, for the Dolphins, that's also a way to preserve him, is use him more on those routes and on the outside and in the passing game, and then don't run him between the tackles, which I think this regime, they do want to be physical between the tackles, using other running backs as well. With some of those pieces on the roster right now, Ollie Gordon, Jalen Wright, I'm sure they'll bring in a running back that they like as well. So, I think they'll try to be strategic in preserving Achane as well, if he is still around.
All right, good stuff. And by the way, it was Emmanuel Lewis, I am told, for Webster. There you go. There you go. Good stuff. All right, what do you got going on there in the South Florida Sun Sentinel, so folks can check you out?
No, well, just posted a story yesterday on Jalen Tolbert as he looks to get back to his 2024 form with the Cowboys. He had a good season there. He explained recently why there was kind of that drop-off with him last year. He chopped it up to opportunities, and obviously there will be receiving opportunities with this Dolphins team after trading Waddle, and then I'm sure there will be another rookie brought in the draft. But still, opportunity for Jalen Tolbert as he looks to revitalize himself. And then I'm just going into next week. There's owners meetings. I'll be traveling to Phoenix. We'll hear from Sully, so GM John Eric Sullivan, Coach Jeff Hafley. Really for the first time since we've had this first wave of free agency, and get some of their thoughts on updates. Maybe we hear on where they stand on Achane, what their perspective was on the Waddle trade, and then also maybe going into the draft a little bit, get some questions in. So, a lot of stuff will be coming out early next week.
All right, good stuff. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at @DavidFaronis_. And, of course, reach out to our friends at Welt and Rayom. They can help you out with bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. They have their own adjusters, folks. So if you suffer any damage to your home or business before you call the insurance company, in fact, don't ever call the insurance company. Call Welt and Rayom first. They send their adjusters, and then they attack the insurance company on your behalf. Nobody better than Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. The consultation's free. 954-966-4646. David, have a great weekend. We'll catch up on Tuesday.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
Thank you.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
All right. Thank you out there. Appreciate you all. All right. Oh, man. Interesting story with George Gervin, the Iceman. And for you youngins, you may not know who George Gervin is. He was one hell of a basketball player, and he had the name the Iceman. So now Chicago Bears quarterback Caleb Williams is attempting to trademark the moniker Iceman. He's facing scrutiny from the NBA legend. George Gervin, the Hall of Famer, four-time NBA scoring champ, told ESPN that he was caught off guard when he learned Williams had attempted to trademark Iceman, the nickname that Williams earned during the 2025 season in his late-game performances culminated with the Bears winning their first playoff game in 15 years. I've been the Iceman for 40-something years, Gervin said. I never thought anybody would try to trademark it. He kind of knocked me out of the box. On the 16th of March, Caleb Williams Holdings filed a 4-trademark application with the United States Patent and Trademark Office for the related Iceman nickname, according to the trademark applications, goods and services related to the name, athletic sporting goods, equipment, water bottles, T-shirts, sweatshirts, jerseys, hats, eyewear, downloadable posters, and digital trading cards. On March 20th, Gervin Interest LLC filed 2 trademark applications for Iceman and Iceman 44, the latter which was references to the jersey number Gervin wore throughout his NBA career in '87, and the San Antonio Spurs retired Gervin's number. One of the biggest questions, according to the trademark attorney Josh Gervin, is how the trademark rights are viewed. Gervin said Gervin could claim that even though he didn't file the trademark, he was using it before Williams, even though Williams filed for it first. But since Williams filed his application first, the USPTO could accept Williams' application and refuse Gervin's. Decision is months away. And this is what I would say to George Gervin. What are you doing, bro? How did you not trademark Iceman? You are called the Iceman forever. Did you not think somebody was going to trademark it? In fact, I'm shocked that somebody else didn't trademark it to steal it from you and force you to buy it off of them. In fact, I'm pissed that I didn't know this. You should be too. And George Gervin will always be the Iceman in my eyes. Caleb never will be the Iceman in my eyes. Never. But we compartmentalize on this show. You snooze, you lose. Caleb should get it. He filed for it, bro. The fact that you didn't file for it, just out of pure stupidity, you should lose it. That was lazy on George Gervin's part. You know how many things say Iceman on it? You could have been paid for all of that. George Gervin was a great basketball player and a shitty businessman. All right, let's do it. The man, the myth, the legend, Steve Calabro. We couldn't catch up with him on Tuesday or on Wednesday, actually, this week. So he is here on Friday, ready to join us, which, by the way, tonight at 1 o'clock, we're giving away a Lexus from Lexus of North Miami. So get your butts on down there. Every time you pull that lever or push that button on the slot machines, you get an entry there at Hialeah Park and a chance to win the Lexus from Lexus of North Miami from our family here at Craig's Inns. And there he is. How you feeling, legend?
Oh, Big O. You took the words out of my mouth. It's Lexus Day. It's Lexus Day. Giving away. Right. I'm driving a Lexus as we speak, coincidentally, an older one. And we're giving a brand new one away at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be a nice night, boy. It's going to be a beautiful night. Somebody at 1:30 is going to be driving away with a beautiful car.
Love it.
Maybe Big O and Sean will be there. I don't know.
I mean, listen, we're not Hialeah resident. I mean, not Hialeah employees, so we are eligible for any giveaway. And I've been trying to win these giveaways. So winning a Lexus might be you want to win a Lexus? I think you can. I think you need one right now. Actually, it's perfect timing for.
Yeah. How you feeling, Sean? You might be perfect timing for a new vehicle.
He totaled the car on Wednesday, so yeah, it's yeah. So, but he's.
Well, that just proves how tough he is. The car went down, but Sean didn't go down.
Sean's tough as nails. Sean's tough as nails. So yeah, that was. That's why, by the way, folks, if you wonder what happened, why we moved Tuesday to Wednesday, because we haven't mentioned anything on the air. This is the first time that we mentioned that Sean had a car accident. I know Sean, he wouldn't want to mention or say anything, but I had to mention it anyways here because of our conversation going on. But anyway, good to catch up with you, my brother. And I know that when we talk about the giveaways, first of all, talk to me a little bit about what you think going on with the Dolphins now, dude, because we haven't talked much here.
All right, so my family members. Keep in mind, I have a stepson. My stepson, he's been a Dolphin fan since he was like 12, and so that's a long time, and my wife is a Dolphin fan, and there's a couple of family members that are Dolphin fans, myself included, and they're all saying, I'm not saying this, they're all saying 3 or 4 wins at most.
Oh yeah.
Now, it's that's just tough to hear. So here's what now I'm trying to bring some kind of positivity to this season. Potentially positivity.
But it's not about wins. The positivity is about hoping to have a great draft and watching players develop. And then the guys that you already had, you want to see those guys start to improve. So you start to create a foundation. I think there's a lot of positives about the season upcoming. I just don't look at it in the win column side. That to me has nothing to do with the season that's upcoming. This season is about, hey, can half coach? Can his team be responsible? Can his teams play with intelligence? They can be beaten because the other team may have more talent. I can live with that, but I can't live with a team that's constantly offside or pre-snap penalties or doing stupid things, and that's why they're also losing. That's what I want to find out. And then I want to find out if this guy can draft, and if Malik Willis is a player, then I'm going to feel really good about it. If Malik Willis sucks, then I'm going to say, well, Sullivan, didn't do good on this quarterback. So to me, that's where our positives are going to come out of the season if they come out of it. It's not really about playoffs or getting to 500 or winning 6 games or something. To me, that's not a goal.
Well, listen, Big O, you just set me up there. I'm going to go with a Jim Mora. Playoffs? You lost your mind? Anyhow, no, here's what I'm saying. I'm sorry about that. That's one of my favorite all-time lines, that when Morris said that, it was just one of the greatest, I guess, after game interviews in the history of the NFL. But that being said, so I live a little different life, Big O. You don't go to the games with Mrs. Calabro or
not
my
anymore.
son. Right? And so what happens is, to be honest with you, a good season for me would be, I don't care how many wins they have overall, as long as we have like 3 or 4 at home. That's what it's like. Because when I go to the games, driving home with my family members afterwards, oh my God, it's like, it's bad. And so I'm trying to look. I'm looking out for Steve Calabro.
Yeah, you're not going to be driving home with a lot of happy wins. But you know what? I think you could lose, and players could have really good moments, and I think you can feel good about the direction of the team, actually. So to me, I'm going to look at it completely different. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
that's how
I hear you, and that's the educated sports analysis of it. But there's all kinds of fans. There's all kinds of fans, right? And so here's my defense. So I was saying this, and I thought they were going to kill me. I said, listen, we'd be high-fiving a bit, because it would prove that the coach can coach. And I know this is a wins thing, but if we go like 9-8, can you imagine if our team is 9-8? We don't make the playoffs, but we're 9-8. We have, 10 or 11 games where it's good. We win, or some games that we play good, but we don't win, but we still win 8 or 9 games. I'm saying 9-8. It could, I guess, 8 and 9 would also be a little bit of a high five. I said, it's not likely, but it's possible. If the guy's a superstar coach, we don't know that yet. And if Malik can play in the league once he gets settled down, I guess it's possible. What do you think? Did I bump my head, or am I thinking too high, or am I high? To speak, any one of those.
I think Malik is one of the things that we have to look at, because one, we hope that he's the guy, because then you found the franchise quarterback. That would be the best scenario ever. Plus, then we find out that Sully's actually a badass GM if that guy's the real deal. So to me, I want to be looking at Malik just to see. But if Malik is just a guy and he's not very good and whatever, then it'll be an indictment on Sully more than anything else, unfortunately. It'll be like his first strike for a quarterback.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
A big strike too.
No, it's not so big, because you weren't going anywhere anyways, and for the next 2 years, it's not a big deal. The money will go by, but it was a bad assessment. And so, you know what? This happens to a lot of people. A lot of people miss with quarterbacks. You don't hit on all of them. So, hopefully he'll hit on the next one if he doesn't hit on this one. You know what I'm saying? But that's really the way I got to measure it. I got to see if he's the player or not. And if he's not, then it really falls on Sully. And if it is, and he's the guy, then you can feel really good about Sully, because, dude, if he found the quarterback, that would be huge. Would be huge.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Big O. There's a different, you said something that's very prolific, that a lot of teams miss on quarterbacks. Yeah, but a lot of those misses, a lot of those misses are a bad draft pick, a bad trade. The guy's new to your system. Sully and the new head coach know Malik. They didn't look at him in tape. They saw him for a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So their assessment, to me, I'm expecting more from that assessment, because it's a much.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
I am.
Don't do it.
Why? Why not?
Because Scott Pioli was with Matt Castle in New England. He went 11-5 with him in New England the year the Dolphins won the division, because Brady was injured. Matt Castle went 11-5 that year. And then Scott Pioli went to Kansas City and went on to trade for Matt Castle and gave up a second rounder. And how did that work out? Last year, Pete Carroll went to the Raiders. He brought Geno Smith with him. That didn't work out well, and he knows Geno Smith. New England, Josh McDaniels went to the Raiders. He brought Jimmy Garoppolo with him. Didn't work out too well. You know what I'm saying? So these things that they know the player, that doesn't really work out. Sometimes you're around the guy, but you don't realize that the environment that was around the guy is what elevated the guy. It wasn't necessarily the guy. And that's what I want to point out to you also. The Green Bay Packers have never started a quarterback without a team that is ready. When Brett Favre started after they traded for him, it was a ready-made team because Dan Majkowski had won 10 games 2 years before that. When Aaron Rodgers stepped in over Favre, the team was ready. It was just waiting for Rodgers. When Love stepped in, the team was ready. It's just waiting. And exactly for Willis. Now Willis is going to play behind a bad football team. He didn't do that in Green Bay. He did that in Tennessee, and it didn't work out too well. And so that's why, you know, I have my concerns about all of that. And just because they were around him, that I've seen those examples all over, and that doesn't necessarily work all the time.
Yeah, but I'm going to give here's my thoughts on that. Okay, so that's sort of my point, because some guys, and I think these guys are making huge mistakes. I think Pete Carroll is a great example. They bring the guy with them not because they're assessing the talent, is because they have a comfort level with them. And I think what needs to happen for a team to do well is that the person making the decision to bring somebody to an organization needs to assess the talent, not the comfort level, the knowability of that guy. All those examples, those, in my opinion, those were just guys saying, "Hey, I know the guy, I can relate to the guy, so I'm going to go with him," instead of somebody that maybe I can assess that has more better talent. That's what I think. I just think that when you got a year to look at a guy, I hope you're not taking him here because you know him and you like him and you feel like you can communicate with him, and we'll get his talent up.
Oh no, he thinks this guy's a franchise guy. That's why he brought him.
Yeah,
he thinks they got a shot at making a franchise guy out of him. And by the way, if that's the case, more power to you, bro.
And I'll build a statue of Sully out in front of the stadium if that's the case. Because if he just did it because he thinks he truly is a franchise guy and he's right, well then that's a grand slam. That's not even a home run. And that's what I guess I'm expecting, something close to that. Because I don't want like your friend or your guy you knew coming, because it looks that way. See, it smells and looks that way. That's why I'm a little negative on it, because the GM gets here, then the coach gets there. That's his friend that he used to be at another organization with. It's just like it's about familiarity, not necessarily talent.
Well, that's because you go with the devil you know, not the devil you don't know. That's all it is.
Yeah,
and
that's true. That's human nature. Human nature.
Yeah, when a new manager or CEO takes over a company, he starts bringing in management people that he's comfortable with, and he starts firing people that he doesn't know because he doesn't know them, and so he'd rather go with the people that he knows or she knows. And I understand that. I can never fault anybody that is a boss to go with people that they're comfortable with. I get it. Understand.
Big guy, I know that well, because when we opened up Hialeah Park, there were people that wanted to come, and I knew them, worked with them, hung out with them. And I remember telling, privately, maybe I was talking to my wife or talking to my best buddy, Tony, I said, there at a prayer, I'd bring that guy. He's a great guy, but he just doesn't have the talent. You know what I mean? He doesn't have the work ethic or whatever it might, whatever the reason was. I'm not. And so anyway, that being said, okay, we disagree on that. I'm a little more, my expectations of the choice that the GM made and the coach made of Malik is just, I got a little higher standard. That's just me. That's me. Now I happen to think I'm the guy to say, hey, they might go 9-8. If they go 9-8, I'm thinking that's really good.
I know.
That's the exact quote that that's
impossible. It's impossible. They have nobody on the team. They're paying nobody. They have so many nobodies. It's impossible. Impossible.
Well, wait a second, though. Wait a second. See, you got to think about karma. Big O. So the 72 Dolphins were undefeated. They had a no-name defense. Nobody was like a superstar. And obviously that's an exaggerated case, but anything's possible in the NFL. If let's say they have a great draft and 2 or 3 of their guys are starting and they're beast. Possible. Right? Maybe they make a trade, like some kind of free agency move. That I'm a lot disappointed in their free agency action.
Well, because they have no money. No,
they got no money.
They have no money, Steve. They can't do anything. They spent their money on the one guy. That's it. Let's end it at this. So Sean was he was always 17-0 in the prior years. And think about what you're saying. It's awesome. I think it's great. It's great talking about it as a Dolphin fan. We used to joke about how Sean would always think it's 17-0, right? This is the year to bottom out because you got a quarterback year coming up.
Well, you can pick a quarterback.
You have a bunch of quarterbacks coming out in 27. You need to suck in 2026. You need to bottom out, bro. You need to bottom out. Seriously.
Well, they're certainly positioned. Look, I'm not disagreeing with you that they're not positioned well to bottom out. I'm not saying it's likely they're going to go 9-8. I just said that would be kind of cool if they did, but it would actually hurt them in the long run. No, I don't think it would hurt them if they're not. No, but if they're 9-8, yeah. But what happens if they're 9-8 and Malik looks phenomenal?
Well, then that would be cool. But it's it's too fantasy. It's just not reality. It's just not reality.
I played fantasy football since 1983.
Yeah, it's not reality. I mean, it would be very interesting. 9-8 is nothing in this league anyway. They've been 9-8 forever, or 8-9, or whatever it is, 7-10, or 10-6, or 6-10, or whatever. This is who they've been forever. They've been that team that's like right there in that chunk. And I don't want to do that again, because that means you're not getting anywhere. Again, you're back in the middle of the draft again. And I'm not sure. Did you have a fluke year because you won 9 games? You know what I'm saying? Or did you?
Well, yeah.
Or is it real?
No, but if you were 8-9 and you could have won 3 of the games you lost. That's a promising season. Anyhow. But yeah, let's see. I mean, I understand your point. I'm not disagreeing with you that it's a little bit of fantasy. It's a long shot.
I'm not building myself.
Listen, Big O. Long shots win sometimes. Long shots win. We go down.
You're talking about the Miami Dolphins. Just check out the last 40. Check out the last 40 years. There is no shot. Forget long. There is no shot. You know what I'm saying? So if we're ever going to get back there, we need to earn it. It's not going to be a fluky thing that all of a sudden we put together a miracle season and it's all that. And all of a sudden we drafted 9 or 10 players are going to be equal to what we had in the no-name defense or something. No, dude, that's not going to happen.
Listen, to prove your point, I just Googled the Webster Dictionary long shot, and the Miami Dolphins logo popped up. It's amazing. But anyhow, I'm just saying I'm trying to be a little positive about it.
I know, I get it, but I don't want you to set yourself up for a heartache. And then you build up your wife, and then she's killing you on the way home.
She's gonna kill me. She's gonna strangle me on the turnpike. But because she gets really riled up, she starts like when there's bad protection. I think she like literally she would if she was a coach, I think she would ride those offensive linemen like there's no tomorrow. Like she really believes that when she sees a quarterback, especially when we're one of the opposing teams has a lot of time, she goes ballistic. She goes, that's what we need. The guy's sitting back there for 5 or 10 seconds ready to throw. So she's all about. I think she would kill the offensive lineman They would be better offensive linemen if Mrs. Calabro was the coach. I can tell you that right now.
That's a beautiful.
She's all about protection. She's all about protection, but for the quarterback. But I think if she was a male and she played football, she would have been a quarterback. She got that mentality that the quarterback is needs to be preserved at all levels. But at any rate, I'm going to change gears. Let's change gears. Look, big Lexus tonight, 1:00. We talked about it. It's a great thing. Tomorrow night, a gigantic concert. Black Coffee in the house. Do yourself a favor, Big O.
That's a big ass stage you guys got there, bro.
I was going to say, walk outside and see the stage. That is gigantic. That is gigantic. They've been working on it for like 4 days. They're talking about 7,000, 6,000 people coming to the concert. It's it's a big week in Miami. It's Miami Music Week. There's all kinds of shows going on, and certainly here at the Park Casino, we've got Black Coffee. It will be in the house. It's going to be amazing. Show starts at 6:30, 7 o'clock. I guess Black Coffee's probably coming on 9, 10 o'clock, and it's going to be a fabulous evening. It's going to be it's going to be electric. Tomorrow's going to be the place is going to be really alive. So
place is going to be popping.
Think about. We talk about the other stuff on a regular basis. A lot of action at poker, and it still is, always is. But this is now we're bringing it to another level. And by the way, I can't really disclose it. I don't want to necessarily get too deep into it because I'm letting it. But the reason I couldn't be there Wednesday was a really, 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 really positive reason.
I know.
And we had all day meetings about something down the future. It's down the future. 2 years from now, a year and a half from now, and that's going to be really, really, really cool. So, the Brunettis are committed to making the facility just a great place for the customers in every way, whether we're reinvesting back in the business and bringing something in the long term, whether we're having a great show or giving away a great promo car, all good. So I guess that's it. So that's why I'm feeling so positive about I'm trying to feel positive about the Dolphins because there's a lot of positive stuff happening in Hialeah Park. So I'm
excited. I'm excited for the Dolphins, dude. I'm hoping for a fun rebuild. You know what I mean? So let's see what happens. I'm open to it. Let's see what happens. But I want a good rebuild, and I'm rooting for that. And I'm happy for those guys. Let's see if they can get it done, man. We certainly want them to succeed. That's for damn sure. It's not like any of us are pulling for them to fail. You know what I mean? We need Sullivan and Halfley to succeed big time, dude. So let's hope so.
So there's also I'll leave you with this. There's also 3 or 4 things this season in the NFL coming up that I'm kind of curious / excited to see what happens. One is I want to see what happens in Las Vegas with the Raiders. I think there's going to be some interesting things happening out there. Everybody knows the obvious, but they had a good free agency. They got things going on. It should be interesting out there. And I'm going to go back to my old heartfelt NFL team, the Giants. The Giants might be considerably better this year. Might be.
Maybe. Depends.
They got some components. I think they got a proven coach.
Yep.
They got a quarterback that can probably do the job if he stays alive. They're going to have their receiver back. Maybe their running back. I think Scatterbu's a great running back, but I can't imagine that guy's going to have a long career in the NFL the way he runs.
Oh no, he is. He is because CTE isn't real, so he'll be fine. He'll be fine. CTE isn't real, So it's and asthma. He just says people should breathe. So Scatterbo is just fine. He's right there with Puka Nacua. These are geniuses. They really understand life.
Geniuses.
Yeah, these guys are geniuses.
Yeah, mental geniuses.
Puka Nacua
in their 20s, they're mental geniuses.
Yeah, Puka Nacua thinks concussions aren't real, and Scatterbo says CTE is for soft people. So the fact that Junior Seau put a bullet in his chest, I guess CTE isn't real, No, not at all. So
it will be interesting to see what the Giants do. And then the last thing, you're going to kill me when I bring this up, but I'm curious what the next 12 months, particularly the season, is going to be for Tua. What is he going to just sit every game?
Well, you weren't listening. You weren't listening to the show, but I broke some news.
Okay. All right.
The headline.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. I was driving. I do apologize.
Can he see the headline from his phone on the show? Yeah, he's driving. Well, if you see the headline of the show that you just clicked into, it says, "Don't be surprised if Tua stars in Atlanta."
Oh, come on now. You're giving me crap about a long shot of 9-8, which I think you should get. It's well-deserved crap. But you think that Tua is going to be what's the definition of stars?
All right, well, here we go. So I'll give it to you real quick. All right, Tua last year, over the last 18 months for him, a lot of things in life happened. He had a second kid. He did not have a good experience with John Beck 2 years ago in the offseason because he used to do it with Nick Hicks every year. He was training and he looking great, and that's when he was playing really well. And then 2 years ago, he went to John Beck, and he didn't like the experience with John Beck. So last year, he ended up with a second kid, and he's not Tom Brady that will, shit on his family and go play football. He's actually like a real father and a family man first and then football. And so one of the things that he did last year was he was paying attention to his kids and his wife and his family, and then trying to half-ass train in the offseason because he thought he could do it on his own. And you could tell he wasn't in the same kind of shape. Plus, he looked kind of stiff. And so he didn't have a very good year. And one of the things that Tua is doing now that I'm told is he went back to getting a trainer. He is working out like a beast, and he's putting in the work in the offseason that he used to put in the last few years that he did not put in the last year because of fatherhood, because of everything that went on. It kind of mounted on him. Plus, he was walking into a dysfunctional building every single day and a dysfunctional team. So that also did not help. Now he's figured that part out, back to working, back with a trainer, back to getting to where he was. And then that's where he expects to be able to play well again, like he did 2 years ago. So the distractions are out of the way. He's balanced fatherhood now, and he is now back to being with a trainer and getting in football shape, which he technically wasn't last year. And that's what really hurt him more than anything else. So we shall see what happens. And that's why I want to tell people that if you see a different Tua next year, it's because of certain factors that happened to him over the last year. And now he has changed that. So there you go.
It's possible. However, one of the questions I would bring up would be, and I'm going to use a boxing reference, but I'll change the body part. In boxing, we say, the guy's got a glass chin. What do you think about Tua's glass hip and his whole glass head? You know what I mean? Like I still think he is a great player because he's super competitive, but that super competitiveness gets him in trouble with injury.
It does.
So I don't know how that is so innate, like a natural thought process that he has for so many years. To manage that is possible, but very, very, very difficult. Look, I like the guy. I hope you're right. I hope you're right that he goes up there and, first of all, Penix has got to get injured.
No, I know Penix is injured. No, Penix.
Yeah, I know, but they say Penix might be ready for the.
He will not. He will not.
I mean, they're wishful thinking.
Tua will be way ahead of him already. He's not going to be ready for the entire offseason. Even if he is barely ready for the start of the season, Tua would have been the player throughout the entire time. So he has no chance of starting. Yeah, if Tua gets back to playing, gets his body back to where he was, Penix has no shot. He's done. It's over. Tua, the only way he gets a job from Tua is when Tua breaks down. When Tua takes a hit and he's done. That's the only time that Penix is going to get a shot. But if Tua's healthy and playing, Penix has no shot at winning that job. Zero. He's not even half the passer that Tua is.
If Tua's healthy and playing well, then they're winning. If he's healthy and he's playing and they're 0-3, Penix is going in.
No, but I mean, if he's not the reason why they're 0-3, he's not going in. Okay. All I'm saying is, if Tua's healthy and playing well, Penix will never see the light of day. That's all I'm saying. And that's if he's healthy, he will play well in that system. Definitely.
So think about this. You're an Atlantic Falcons fans, and you got two quarterbacks that are about as banged up or have the ability to get banged up as in the NFL. They're probably in the top 10 in terms of the most fragile quarterbacks in the NFL.
Actually,
you know what I mean?
Penix is more fragile than Tua, because last time, if I'm correct, didn't Tua play 2 out of 3 complete seasons? The last 3,
right? And Penix can't get past 6
before he
games.
got the contract, and then he got injured 2 years ago, and then last year he played all the games. So until he got benched, but he really did not. He hasn't missed a game in 2 out of the 3 seasons. So that's actually better than Penix has never done. Penix has never done that in his life.
Yeah, he's a banged up quarterback since his first year in the NFL. So
since high school. Well, since high school, all throughout college, and now he has been constantly injured every single year. Michael Penix has gotten injured every single year of his career. That's just kind of the way it goes. So he's actually more fragile than Tua. But again, to me, it's not about anything except Tua getting back his body to where it was 2 years ago. If it's anything like it was last year, he won't even last in the NFL. He'll be gone. He'll be history.
Right, so
they'll cut him.
Now my brain is racing now, right? I'm all the optimist about 9-8 Dolphins, and you beat me up on it, justifiably so. I get it. But now let's talk about Tua, right? What you're saying is Steve Calabro, pie in the sky. Tua goes to Atlanta. He gets the starting job. Penix isn't ready for the start. Comes out like a wild man the first 6 games. And, they end the season 11-6. They make the playoffs, and he wins a playoff game. Could you imagine that? What we would feel like as Dolphin fans? That'd be pretty cool. It'd be cool, great for him, fantastic for him, pretty good for the Falcons and for the ownership, because they got a quarterback for $1 million that is that they take.
Well, they got him for $1 million 1 year. They're going to have to pay him the following year after that.
Oh yeah, they'd have to. Well, what would happen is it'd be adios muchachos to Penix.
Oh yeah. That's the inevitable anyway. Yeah. He wasn't that good anyway when he's healthy. So, it's not like, at least with Tua, when healthy, the dude was in the MVP talk, he led the league in touchdowns and yards and stuff. Like, he's accomplished stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
but to me, it's all up to his health. If he's the same guy last year, his career's over. But if it's true that he can get his body back and he gets back in shape, then if that's the truth, then he should have an opportunity to succeed, especially in that environment. That's a much better environment for him to succeed than the one here, because he's in a dome. Yeah, the division. He's in a dome. He's got amazing weapons. Holy shit, he's got a lot of weapons, and so that's going to help him out. Yeah. He's got.
Well, look. Right? We'll see. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I'll tell you, I'm going to go old school, then I'm going to sign off. But one thing that you can never forget about Tua, he's like a 19 or 18-year-old man. And he goes into the freaking national championship game, and he brings Alabama to the promised land. I mean, you got to have. There's some kind of mental toughness, talent. I don't know what the hell you call it, but that ain't. I mean, obviously, there was great players around him, but those great players were not winning the game at halftime. So
no. Jalen Hurts wasn't passing them into the national championship. I agree with you. Jalen Hurts can run you into a national championship, but he ain't going to pass you into one, and that's why Saban went with Tua. So I totally get it. It's really all up to his body. If he doesn't get his body straight, he's done. But if he can, from what I'm told, well, then he's definitely got a chance to be pretty good next year. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
All right.
Anyhow,
All right, my friend. I'll see you tomorrow.
Lexus.
I'll see you tomorrow to win
Lexus.
that Lexus. I mean, tonight at 1 a.m., which is tomorrow.
Yeah, Lexus tonight, black coffee tomorrow, and it's just getting better every day. It's all good.
It, baby. All right, Steve.
Take care, guys. Bye now.
Thank you, my friend.
Bye now.
The great Steve Calabro. And don't forget, they got the loose slots there at Hialeah Park. Them slots are loose, baby. So get on down there, and every time you play a slot, you get an entry to win whatever they're giving away. This time it'll be the Lexus tonight at 1 a.m. All right, let's do a little music. Let's go with some birthdays today. Musicians born on this day: Kimbra Lee Johnson, Sheehan Gautier, somebody that I used to know, born in 1990. Jessie J, Jessica Ellen Cornish, born in 1988. A little domino. I like her. Fergie, born in 1975. Man, like a lot of ladies. Mariah Carey, born in 1970. What a streak, dude. That is nice. Kimbra, Jessie J, Fergie, and Mariah Carey. It got bigger, bigger, and bigger and bigger, right? Like Kimbra's like this. Jessie J a little bigger. Fergie bigger. And then you go Mariah Carey. Although maybe, now Jessie J is bigger than Fergie. But you got to go Fergie overall because she was with Black Eyed Peas. All right, let's see. What else do we have celebrating birthdays today? Oh, well, it would be nice if this thing updates because it kind of disappeared on me here. Hold on. Like only a certain amount of text showed up on the page, and then the rest of the page doesn't have anything else. So it's like I'm done. So let's see if this updated finally. No, it did not. I'm going to have to do it all again. All right, let's see if it shows up properly this time. All right, Derek McKenzie, drummer with Jamiroquai, born in 1962. Andrew Ferris, keyboardist with INXS, born in 1959. Let's see. Walter Stocker from Air Supply, born in 1953. Tony Banks, baby, from Genesis, the keyboardist. Let's see who else is celebrating birthdays today. And that is it for musicians. Now we go to other famous people celebrating birthdays today on the 27th. All right. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means they are no longer with us here on this list. And we start off with Nobel Peace Prize, Japanese Prime Minister Isaku Sato, born in 1901. Motorsports Hall of Fame member Cale Yarborough, born in 1939. Actor Michael York, born in 1942. He is 84. Let's see. Actress Maria Schneider, born in 1952. Filmmaker Quentin Tarantino, born in 1963. He is 63. Johnny April of Stain, born in 1965. He's 61. Actress Polly Perrette, born in 1969. She's 57. Brendan Hill of Blues Traveler, born in 1970. He's 56. Actor Nathan Fillion. I heard they're working on a new Firefly, by the way. Nathan Fillion, born in 1971. He's 55. You remember when he played the badass preacher in Buffy? Nathan Fillion. Anybody remember that? That was like maybe my first, like who the hell is this guy, right? He was like this wicked, like, preacher in Buffy. Let's see what else. Celebrating birthdays today. Musician, actress Halle Berry. Not Halle Berry. Not Halle Bailey. I'm sorry, not Halle Berry. Halle Bailey. Born in 2000. She's 26 today. Does she have like a restraining order on the rapper that she was with or something like that? All right, let's go with, there's too much shit in this head. Just way too much. Way too much. I forgot the name of the rapper or something. They were together and then they got like separated. And then I think she had to get like a restraining order on his ass or something like that. Anyway, crazy stories. Let's go with music history. A lot of you always wonder what happened today in music history. You start off in 1979. Eric Clapton married George Harrison's ex-wife, Patty Boyd. The subject of the song, Layla. You got me on my knees. Harrison attended the wedding and remained friends with Clapton. In 82, Pac-Man Fever, a song about the arcade game that had the U.S. enthralled, cracked the top 10, becoming the only song about a video game ever to chart so highly. In 1984, on this day, Run DMC released their self-titled debut album. It features the singles, It's Like That, and That's the Way That It Is, Hard Times. Rockbox was the first rap video played on MTV. In 86, Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band released their 13th studio album, Like a Rock. And it features the singles American Storm, Like a Rock, It's You, and The Aftermath. In 87, on this date, U2 performed from the roof of a store in downtown Los Angeles to make the video Where the Streets Have No Name, attracting thousands of spectators and bringing traffic to a standstill. The police eventually stopped the video shoot. In 97, on this date, Will Smith had the #1 single in the country with Getting Jiggy With It. In 2001, Train released her second studio album, Drops of Jupiter. Great song. And it also had Something More and She's on Fire. In 2006, Elvis Presley's Graceland Mansion was designated as a National Historic Landmark. Trump was there earlier this week, selling guitars. Did you buy one? 2020, Pearl Jam released their 11th studio album, Gigaton. It features Dance of the Clairvoyants, Super Blood Wolfman, and Quick Escape. In 2020, also, Dua Lipa on this date released her second studio album, Future Nostalgia. It features Levitating, Physical, and Don't Start Now. I like that song, Don't Start Now. Let me see if there's any... sometimes there's some birthdays that weren't on the other list. Derek Morgan, a pioneer of ska who worked with Desmond Decker, Bob Marley, and Jimmy Cliff with the Spliff. He's 86 today. And nope, that's it. That's what happened today in music history. Oh, did you give me wrestlers? Do we have wrestlers today, Sean Stanley? Any wrestling birthdays today? And by the way, Isaiah Thomas hating on MJ. MJ had his number, so he's just pissed. Go ahead.
All right, wrestlers born
and
on today.
And by the way, just one more thing. Isaiah Thomas has been a bad dude his entire career, dude. Just, it's not somebody you root for. Go ahead.
Bone Soldier is 44. Charlie Haas turns 54. Kenta Kobashi is 59. Riley Osborne turns 28. And SoCal Val, she turns 40 on March 27th, 2026.
Oh, let's see. What else do we have? Stephen Harris. Good morning, and Sean. Thank God it's Friday. It's wonderful to see the butthurt Tua haters losing sleep over Tua's comments. It is funny. I mean, look, man, you have your people that like Tua and you have your people that don't like Tua. You have the people that think he can be a good quarterback and you have the people that don't. Big deal. Whatever, bro. It is what it is. Welcome to sports. Pat in Asheville says, new Firefly will be animated. Oh, really? Oh, so that we're only going to get their voices. Okay. The last movie left a little to be desired. It wasn't like what I was looking forward to. Like when you watch the series and it's so short, you fall in love with the series and the characters. But you just wanted them to expand on that right there. And it's just, it almost reminds me of The Pretender, a show that I loved. And they try to recapture it with some of those movies that they came in after, and it just doesn't do it. And sometimes when you stop a series at that moment, you lose the momentum. And it's really hard for you to recapture the magic or the momentum of that show or that series at that moment. And I think that's what's happened to Firefly or many others that people had an affinity to, and then kind of became a little bit of a cult thing. And then the executives then realized that they screwed up. And then when they try to resurrect it, they just can't do the same thing. And it sucks. And that's kind of what's happened to Firefly in a way. So there's my 2 cents on that. Let's see what else. Isaiah Thomas was an asshole in the court and off. Jordan is not the only one who thinks. Oh yeah, I mean it's. I don't need Jordan to know what I watched Isaiah's whole career and who he was and how he carried himself. I will compartmentalize and tell you every time. Great effing player. Great effing player, all the way back to Indiana, dude. Money player. Like clutch. Fearless. Awesome. King size asshole. Moises Alou and Isaiah Thomas are the same guys. You want them on your team. You don't want to deal with them as human beings. That's all. That's it. So he and the Pistons, they pushed envelopes that and extremes that they shouldn't have, So don't forget Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. Ray, thank you again for the love on Venmo, bro. You're a beast. Thank you for your generosity, sir. Says, based on this rebuild, moves that we have seen up to now, in your opinion, are we going to see a trade before the draft, during the draft, before the draft deadline? I just hate to waste talent on these players such as Zach Sealer, Jordan Brooks, and Aaron Brewer. I believe that the Achane trade will happen at the draft or just after the draft. If a team doesn't get what they need and they're a contender and they feel like this is a guy that can put them over the top, I really feel that they're going to go for Achane. So that is definitely one of them. The Sealer one, I think it's next off season or the trading deadline because of the cap hits. So you want to push it into 2027 because you just can't take any more. So it'll go into 2027. Jordan Brooks, you need an injury somewhere around the league by the deadline in order to move him also. But I think there is a chance for those, but more along the deadline. Aaron Brewer, you signed this kid, please keep Aaron Brewer. Plus, he's cheap. I'd sign him to an extension and then draft a center. I'd give him like a 2-year extension and draft a center. And have him learn and play guard and play center behind him and mature him and then get him ready to play in front of a real quarterback. Because I don't want to put a young center in front of a young quarterback. So I'd rather him learn from a real center for a year or two and play guard, be the backup, be useful, but not the starter. And then be ready to step in. That's what I would do. That's just me. But I would not part with him. Ray, thank you so much. I appreciate you immensely, my brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see what else we got here. Sweet baby Ray. Thank you, my man. Appreciate you. Here we go. Let me read what you got for me. Just tuned in. Any Lowry? Oh, you know what? No Kyle Lowry today. We have not had. Yeah, he probably came in early before us. He did? Oh, you saw it? Oh, okay. So Sean saw it, but it was before I even got here. So, yeah. Thank you, Ray, I appreciate you as always. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Thank you all out there. Big O, you throwing out a lot of hopium for Tua today. I'm not throwing any hopium out. I'm just telling you, I said, don't be surprised if Tua stars in Atlanta. And I explained to you what happened to him in the last year and a half in his life and everything going on. And I'm just explaining what's going on. That's all. That's it. So, and I've said this from the get-go. Have I not? If he doesn't fix his body, he's done. If he fixes his body and gets back to where he was, he'll be just fine. I've said that I said that before I got this information. Now that I got this information and found out about what was going on in his life and everything else, Okay. So, whatever. We kind of told you he was going to Atlanta 2 months before anyone on the damn planet. So, I don't know. Maybe we provide some insight here on the show sometimes. So that's one thing I'm proud of that I've done for many, many years. And a lot of people are in our business and they give you no insight. And they just hash over everything that went on, which is normal. We can all do that. But sometimes we give you stuff that nobody else gives you, and we give it to you ahead of time. And that's what we're proud of. That we're actually able to give you real insight. And sometimes we give you insight even without, like an insider, but we see it and we can tell what it's going to happen. So that's what we're proud of on this show. What else do we have going on? Pat says, I was about to drive the kids on a school field trip and was wearing a Firefly fish skeleton t-shirt and Chinese writing. A Japanese parent came up to me and said, that says death, right? Oh, man. Were you dressed like goth-like and said, yeah? I like the original Bad Boys movie with Sean Penn and Isas Morales. Yes, that was a good one. Yeah. And the smart kid that gets the box to blow up on the idiot's face and all that. That's actually a very good movie. Sean Penn is just an exceptional actor. He really is, dude. Just a great actor. In any role that he does, he's just that good. He can do whatever the hell he wants. Like, he's one of those Glenn Close type actors. Like, Glenn Close can play any freaking role you want her to play. She'll morph into it. Sean Penn is that guy. He can morph into any role, dude. He is so good. So I think he's underappreciated, actually. I don't think he's appreciated enough of how great of an actor he is. What else do we have here? Great DJ, Black Coffee. Yeah, I don't know shit about that, but since he was coming to Hialeah, I kind of looked into it and all that, and I had no idea that this guy was like, he's enormous. All we need is for him to, throw pastellis around, because the other guy's got cakes, right? We got Vicky Bakery, so he should stop in at Vicky Bakery right before his performance and just pound people with pastellis. I mean, it's a lot easier to throw than a cake. Although Steve Aoki is an accurate son of a bitch with that cake, bro. That's the one insight that I'll give you on that I've noticed with Steve Aoki when he throws his cakes. Whoever asked for it, dude, he is great at heaving it right at that person. Talent. I tell you, he is the cake tosser in the history of mankind. I wouldn't want to compete with him at cake tossing because he's damn good. Too Extreme says you're going to see a different Tua for the better or the worse, because he realizes that this is his last chance at being a starting quarterback in this league. That is also a very good point. That is definitely part of his end game, I would imagine, psychologically after everything that's gone on. So he'll have that as a motivating tool. You're 1,000% right, my brother. There's no doubt about that. I agree with you there. But all the other stuff is what really affected him, from what I'm told. So we're going to see if he tweaked all of that. And I'm told he's already done that. I'm told that he's working out like a fiend. And that's why I told you guys in the headline, and then when I told you this about it in the first half hour, that some of you are going to get pissed because you're wondering, well, why didn't he do that when he was here for the last year? Why, when he left John Beck, why did he think he could train himself? And, that's how we all do it. We all think, oh, well, I've done it for a few years with all these trainers. Okay, I'll do what they tell me to do, this and that. And it didn't work out well. Now he's got somebody training him. Who it is, that's the only thing I can't tell you. I don't know who it is. That's if I find out, I'll pass it on. I don't know if that's even important anymore. But, yeah, I'm told that he's back at doing that. So if that's the case, then you got a chance at seeing the old Tua. Then that means he could play really well in Atlanta. We'll see. Let's see. Mike Fox says, people who don't listen to the Big O or even just listen occasionally don't realize how often he is right and nails it every time with the Dolphins. Easily my go-to guy. Happy Friday. Thank you, Mike. That's very nice of you. Appreciate that. Means a lot. One of my all-time favorite movies, says True Finn fan, has both my favorite actors in it. Crimson Tide, to me, Gene Hackman and Denzel are at the top of the acting. Oh, yeah, definitely. For sure. I love Gene Hackman and Denzel Washington. I've watched all of their movies. Those are two actors that I watch anything and everything that they've ever done. Rest in peace, Gene Hackman. We just lost him. But, yeah, dude. Yeah, those guys are amazing. All right, we thank Larry Schlossberg. Thank Steve Calabro out at Hialeah Park. I want to thank, of course, David Furones, this man here, Sean Stanley, as always, getting it done. Appreciate him immensely. Thank all of you out there. You guys are amazing. Appreciate all the support that we get here on the show. Don't forget, please hit the like button before you go, or whenever you're watching the show or any of the segments or any of the rants or anything, hit that like button. Let it play and walk away, baby. That's what I say. It's a beautiful thing when you can do that. Thank you very much. You can make a donation anytime to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. Visit our amazing sponsors like the Fort Lauderdale United, EJD Construction, Welt and Rayom, Caneswear, Sloman's, Laser Eye Center of Miami, Toyota of Hollywood, All Year Cooling, Hialeah Casino, Moody's Dental, Subaru, R&M Contractors. As always, thank you all out there. We shall see you Monday. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big